His MVP. That's one. Right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball. Down line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Shot again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the top of the 10th inning. Good guys just took the lead, 3-2 Texas. Little bloop single by Mr. West Coast, Kyle Higashioka. Dude just absolutely rakes out here. I mean, literally, you put him anywhere on the West Coast, and he turns into Mike Piazza. Alejandro Osuna going to lift the ball, another blooper, and that one's going to fall. That one is going to fall as well. Rangers move up to second, first and second, nobody out, 2 bloops, and Texas is in business, man. Alejandro's had a nice game. It's good to see him back up with the big league club. You guys know I've made multiple videos on this guy. I love Alejandro Osuna. I think he's going to be a really, really high-quality Texas Ranger if given the chance, if given the opportunity. And I think that may be coming, especially next year in 2026. We might be able to talk about that a little bit more after the show. But Osuna gets his first hit of the ball game on base, I believe, for the 3rd time, I want to say. That's the kind of guy you want in your lineup. Evan Carter, by the way, for anybody that didn't pick it up, Evan Carter out with some back spasms. Not good. Evan Carter, back spasms. 23 years of age. This is something he's been fighting for the past 2 or 3 years. Never a good thing when you're that young, experiencing back issues. We've talked about that really all offseason. That's what we talked about. Josh Smith, by the way, was squaring to bunt there. Pulled it back. Brash threw it a little bit high. So we got 1-1. I really did think bunting would probably be a good idea here, but the Rangers just don't hardly ever do it. So I didn't even offer it up. Didn't even think it was going to be an option. Let's see. He is squaring again, and it's a beautiful bunt. Beautiful bunt. Brash throws over. So we're going to have second and third here, 1 out with Corey Seager coming up with a base open. So you got a tough decision here if you are Wilson and the Mariners. Do you intentionally walk Corey, load the bases, and bring up Marcus Semien? That is the question. Let's see what they decide to do here. Corey's walking up to the plate. Nice play from Brash to get to that ball quickly. I don't think he had a chance really anywhere else. But again, as we were saying with Evan Carter, tough news for him. Obviously, I think he is one of the good guys in the game. Would love nothing more for him to have success. Corey Seager, by the way, was intentionally walked. Marcus Semien, bases loaded. And he's going to take strike 1 on the outer half. Big spot for Semien. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Single. Batting .232, 54 RBI. Semien with the chance to bust this game wide open. Quickly down 0-2, though. Good start from Brash here. You guys know Brash, in terms of non-Rangers, this is a guy I highly respect in terms of relief pitchers in the game. Here's pitch number 3, 0-2 count. I doubt Semien gets anything to hit here. Can't imagine they're going to throw anything close. Marcus Semien, little dribbler. And that is going to get one home. They might challenge that. It looked pretty bang-bang. It might be a challenge play here. Let's see. Looked like it was a half a step out. Marcus Semien gets it done. That was a pitcher's pitch from Brash. Like, that wasn't even in the zone. I mean, Semien's just putting it in play and getting the job done, man. Sometimes that's what you need. The Rangers have not squared up really anything this inning. 2 bloops, a bunt, and you got a little roll me over ground ball, the shortstop, and you're up 2 in the 10th inning. It's how baseball goes sometimes. That is how baseball goes sometimes, y'all. 4 soft contact hits. Not all were hits, of course. 2 of them were hits. The other 2 productive outs. Putting the ball in play, right? That's what you got to do sometimes. And Robert Garcia, by the way, warming in the bullpen. I'm sure Rangers fans are very comforted by that announcement. Robert Garcia getting loose to come in to close this game out. Bruce Bochy, by the way, firmly giving the vote of confidence to Robert Garcia post-game last night. Nobody else that the Rangers would rather have than Garcia. Almost a direct quote there from Bruce Bochy. Brash, 2-1 count. And he is going to get strike 2. Pumps a fastball at 95. Really painted that one. Top of the zone. Right on the inner half. Right really on the black on the inside. That's a tough one for Dolly to catch. And we have a 2-2 count. Here comes pitch number 5. And Brash is going to make Dolly look foolish here, man. That was a filthy slider. It wasn't really anywhere close. Maybe it looked close for a second. But that was probably about 2 feet outside. And that's how the 10th inning ends. But not before the Rangers score 2 runs and get a lead in this ball game. 2 bloops, a bunt, a rollover to short from Marcus Semien, and the Rangers are up 4-2. Robert Garcia with a chance at redemption here. Top of the order coming up. Big Game James does make a good point. Robert Garcia, not necessarily on the best of runs right now. Let's see if he can get a little bounce back here. You're going to have a Rosarina, Cal Raleigh, and J-Rod coming up next. Gauntlet. Hey, how about Cole Winn, though, in the 9th inning? Did I or did I not say last night, can we try maybe Cole Winn in the mix? I wanted to see Armstrong. I got to think he's probably pretty close up there in line if Robert Garcia continues to struggle, and obviously we hope that's not the case today. But Cole Winn, impressive. 2-2 ball game on the road, playoff environment, and you got the rookie coming in and shutting down the Mariners. At least, look, it's the bottom of the order. Clearly, I get it. Still not easy. Definitely not an easy thing to do. You're playing a very high-quality team. You're a rookie. Top of the 9th, games on the line. Season, not totally on the line, hanging in the balance, but you're getting to that spot, especially playing the Mariners, where you really got to win some ball games. A lot of pressure. Thought Cole Winn handled it really, really well. Got Garver swinging. That was a big out. Huge out. And worked around the leadoff walk to get the next 3 outs and close the book on the first 9. Beautiful from Cole Winn. Cole Young is going to start at second base here. Ezekiel Duran is remaining in the game as the first baseman, taking over for Rowdy Tellez. Rowdy had a pretty nice game in his return to Seattle, 2 for 4. And did score a run as well, had a double, 3 total bases for Rowdy. Good for him coming back to Seattle and doing some damage. Uncle Ruckus, I'm with you, man. Look, even 2-run lead, I'll just be totally transparent with y'all. I do not really feel one way or the other. I could see this going either way. I could absolutely see this going really, really well. Robert Garcia looking like the guy that's essentially closed out nearly 20 games. If you count his holds plus the saves, he's preserved 20 leads in all of his outings over the course of the year. It's pretty good. Robert Garcia has been pretty reliable. He's going to get a tough luck ball called on him right here. You hate that against the top of the order. Just nicked the top of the zone. And this home plate umpire, it's been an interesting weekend of umpiring. It really has. It's been an interesting weekend of umpiring. You're going to get strike 2 here, though. Randy's 1 for 4 on the day. Oh, my goodness. What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with Robert Garcia? Bochy, why? Why? Do not come at me post-game, Bochy, with this guy is still our closer. Do not come at me post-game. Don't give me any of that BS. That's ridiculous. This guy's not a closer. He's not a closer. He's not a terrible pitcher, but he's not a closer. He's not. He can pitch. He can get outs in this league. And maybe, you know what? Maybe with a little bit more work, he could be in the 9th inning. Bro doesn't have it. He's not consistent enough for the 9th inning. I don't care if he saves a game tomorrow. I don't care if he stays in for 2 innings and ends up closing this one out. I don't care. What are you doing throwing Randy Arozarena a middle fastball right down the middle? What are you doing? I just don't even get that. It's just not hitting your spots, dude. It's ridiculous. You might as well have left Cole win. You might as well have left Cole win in the ballgame. Big Game James 100%. A lot of major league players are going to square up a middle fastball right down the pipe at 94. Dude, we're BP mode. I don't even get that. You know, with Randy in that AB, you had a 1-1 count. Everything was in front of you. I have no clue why you're challenging right down the pipe with the fastball there. Clearly he missed. You're not trying to throw Randy Arozarena that pitch. I'm glad to see Curvelo up. There's no way that you don't bring Curvelo in if another guy gets on. And look, Cal Raleigh is actually going to go down swinging here, fortunately. I don't know. I don't think you let him finish the inning. Like, you know what? If he can make it through a couple more batters, great. Cal Raleigh's having a bad game, by the way. He is just not having a good game. It's fortunate for Texas. Cal Raleigh's a great player, but it's not been Cal's best day up at the plate. Merrill Kelly really stymied him early. Just hasn't been his best day. It happens. Cal's going to go down on an 89-mile-an-hour pitch on the outer half. Look, if Naylor comes up, I think that Garcia will get Naylor. I would bring Curvelo in to face Suarez if it gets to that. If it gets to Suarez, I would absolutely bring in Curvelo to face him. I just don't think you want to be dealing with lefty-righty matchup there and one of the better hitters in the game, Gino Suarez. Let's see. Ground ball. And we are going to have J-Rod retired here. Seager flips over to first base. 2 outs. Tie ball game. Yeah, Luis, I'm with you. Look, I am over Robert Garcia closer. We talked about that. Eagle, I'm with you. At least the bases are clear. John, I'm with you. Hey, he came out and said it last night, y'all. Boch came out and he said it last night. He gave Robert Garcia the full vote of confidence last night. And Boch is loyal to the boys. I didn't really feel like he was going to come out and say, closer's open. We're taking applications. I didn't think Boch was going to come out and say that. I really did not think, though, that Robert Garcia was going to continue to close ball games. There's been too many of those games. I get it. He's had, 11 holds and 9 saves. So 20 total appearances. He's preserved a lead. I get that it's not the worst relief pitcher you've ever seen, but this guy is not 9th inning material. I don't care if he comes back and holds the game right here. I really don't. It's not consistent enough. We have more consistent pitchers that can do this in the 9th inning. We do. Josh Naylor is going to rip a single here. It's time to get Curvelo in the ballgame. Time to get Crivello in the ball game, man. Another right down the pipe. Another pitch right down the pipe. Lucky Naylor didn't send that one over the fence. Like, that's right down the pipe, dude. What are you doing? Hoosier, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the gifts, by the way, too. I just saw that. Thank you, man. What are you doing, though, Robert Garcia? You throwing a pitch right down the pipe. It's middle. Like, dude, what are you doing? I just don't even understand. Like, if you cannot control your pitches to the point where you're throwing BP fastballs right down the pipe, I am shocked we're going Garcia here. What are we doing? I cannot believe they're keeping him in the ball game. Oh, y'all, my blood pressure is going through the roof right now. I don't even know. What are we doing? Why? It's lefty on righty. One of the best hitters in the league. Let's throw the guy that keeps putting it right down the middle. Now we do the pitching visit. That's freaking rich. Now we do the pitching mound visit? Oh, we got an injury. Okay, all right. Wow. Injury timeout. That's why we get the pitching mound visit. So he's been hurt this entire time? Can't make this up. Come out. It's not worth it at this point. Take him out. We don't need the stupid "are you okay" warm-up pitches. Take him out of the game. Why are we thinking about it this much? Get him out of the game. Thank you. Thank you. Why did that even need to take that long, dude? You got a dude that's not pitching well. He's not pitching well, and he's hurt, and you're actually talking about whether or not to keep him in the ballgame? I know a couple of y'all were talking about Bochy and the moves. Look, I'll admit, over the course of a 162-game season, you're never going to agree with all the managerial decisions. But this one is a freaking whopper for me. Like, dude, why are you even thinking about leaving Garcia in that game when he's struggling and he's potentially hurt? Dude, can you still go? We really need you here. Dude, anybody would be better right now. I'm sorry. Anybody would be better right now. We could have left Cole Winn in the ball game. I'd have rather lived and died with Cole Winn on the mound. Appreciate the gifts, Hoosier. Thanks so much, man. Look, the Jock Peterson batting in the middle of the order thing, it just hurts. Like, I really want to see Jock Peterson do well, but game after game, they continue to like try and will him to playing well by putting him up high in the order. Dude is hitting 123 with a 475 OPS. And he's hitting fifth. Look, I'm all for giving him this week to continue to see if he can get the job done, to see if he can still work it out in the rest of this year, be maybe even a little bit successful over the last 2 months of the season. I'm not good having him work it out from the 5-hole. I'm totally with you guys on that. I am not good. Hey, work out your 123 batting average struggles from the 5 spot in the lineup. You want to know who the Mariners have batting fifth? Chino Suarez. Just to give a little perspective here. By the way, Crivello in the game right now, and Crivello is quickly in a 3-0 count, although I will say, bro absolutely got squeezed. Absolutely got squeezed on one of these appearances. On one of these pitches. Third pitch was clearly a strike. So getting a little squeezed here, unfortunately, doesn't help against one of the best pitchers. Should be a 2-2 count right now, but unfortunately it's 3-1. Pitch number 5 is a foul ball, so you got a full count here against Gino. Gino, by the way, 0 for 4 with 2 Ks on the day. Runner on first base. Again, Luis Curvelo in the ball game. Pitched 2 innings in his major league debut. Did not allow a run. He is up in a very difficult moment here. And he is going to get Suarez swinging. What a pitch. What a pitch by Luis Curvelo. Thank you. Probably the guy that should have been in the ball game the entire time. Freaking rookie comes in and does better than Garcia. Come on now. It is sad. It is so sad that we even thought about leaving Robert Garcia in the ball game. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go scorched earth on Bochy. I'm not. I think he's a Hall of Fame manager. That doesn't mean that he's infallible. Why were you even leaving Robert Garcia in to pitch to Gino Suarez when you had Curvelo? That makes 0 sense to me. Like, I'm glad that Curvelo ends up coming in and getting Gino out. It just confirms even more. What were we doing? And look, there's always an excuse. Boch, I think I've heard Boch. Actually, it really shocked me like a couple weeks ago after a game. Bochy finally was like, yep, this one's a little bit on me. I don't feel like I managed the bullpen very well. I think he left somebody in too long or something like that. What do you know? It happened again. Leaving somebody in too long. No reason that Garcia needed to be pitching to Gino there. And look, you know what? It's unfortunate for 2 reasons why Garcia gets hurt. One, I don't wish anybody getting injured or getting hurt in this sport. I mean, your health is your currency when you're a major league professional baseball player. I don't wish anybody to get injured. But now it's like, that's going to be the excuse, right? You know I'm right. You know that's going to be the excuse. He wasn't quite right. He was dealing with some issues. It kind of makes sense why he was struggling. You know that they're just going to lay on the excuses thick, and he'll probably be closing games again. It's 4-4 going into the top of the 11th. Adolis Garcia will start out at second base as the ghost runner. You guys know this is my favorite rule in baseball. Absolute favorite. Nothing better than the ghost runner rule. There's no other idea that could possibly be better than this one. Hopefully Jock Peterson heard us talking and he is just going to mash one out of the ballpark right here. That would be a dream. An absolute dream. Strike 1 though. Appropriate. Ball number 1 on a pitch, 95 inside. By the way, Mariners have gone to the pen as well. We saw back-to-back Brash, and then we had, of course, Munoz in the game, Munoz and then Brash. Got that one twisted. Jock with a base knock. Adolis Garcia is going to get held up. Oh, man. I wonder what the throw would have been like if Dolly was going, but I do not understand that stop sign. I do not understand that stop sign at all. Randy is going to his left. He does not have great momentum, and it was not going to be a good throw. That is fortunate for Seattle. Randy going to his left. He kind of got around the ball at the last second. Jock comes through with the base knock. He's going to get subbed out. Pinch runner coming in the ball game. It's going to be Swaggerty. Swaggerty at first. Doley at third. Langford up to bat right now. Look, this could go really, really well. Really, really well for Texas right now. Or you could see a very unfortunate non-productive out. Like with Wyatt, it's kind of going to be boom or bust, I feel like. He's either going to rope one somewhere, but there's no in between. I don't understand why Wyatt takes so many pitches right down the middle. Speaking of strike 1, right down the pipe. Don't even get that. It feels like he does it a lot. And with Wyatt, it just feels like you take the good pitches to get to the bad ones. He's going to go ahead and put this one into right field, though. I told y'all, it's like either really, really good or it is bad, boom or bust, and we get a boom there from Wyatt. It's 5-4 Rangers. It wasn't hit hard. He kind of got jammed a little bit. It was another pitch pretty much right down the middle. Looked like he almost got jammed just a little bit on that. Let's see the exit below. 85 miles an hour. Yeah, he got jammed a little bit. That'll work, man. That will work. Yeah, crushed it. HH, that's hilarious. Crushed it. Freaking crushed it, man. Duran up right now. Can we get a bunt down? What? Why is it so hard for this guy getting bunts down, man? Why is it so hard? Strike one. Pitch number 2 incoming. And we're going to get a high fastball here. Zeke is going to take 1-1 count. Didn't look like he was squaring the bunt on that one. I mean, look, honestly, at this point with Zeke Duran, I know that we can make up the excuses of, everything that's happened in the first half of the season. Come through for me right here, baby. Let's go. Zeke gets sawed off. The second saw-off in a row that results in a base knock. Rangers getting some fortunate hits right now, man. 2 bloops in the top of the 10th. 2 sawed-off opposite field line drives, soft line drives. And we are up once again by 2. It is 6-4 Rangers. Broken bat, opposite field, soft line drive for Zeke Duran. And the Rangers have a 2-run lead. My goodness, man. One half of that bat went absolutely flying. Higashioka coming up. This is the guy you want up right here. And it's first and third, nobody out. You got to bust this game wide open, man. Clearly, you don't have safety with the 2-run lead. You got to bust this game wide open. Zeke Duran, look, the first half was the first half. Zeke has not had a good season. Can we just have a good 2 months from Zeke? It's clear the club loves him and wants to keep him up on the bench. I'm going to try and get on board. I don't love Zeke Duran. Just continuing to withstand all of these 40-man DFAs and options. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But you know what? He comes through here. So I'll zip my mouth at least for a day. Rangers are up 6-4. I'm very surprised Zeke Duran is still around. But you know what? This is maybe this game is where they champion the decision, HH. Maybe this game is where they totally champion it. Yeah, he did leave with the toothpick. He absolutely did, man. Only 4. Austin, this is like one of the gold comments of the night, man. Only 43 more runs to close this game out. We only need about 43 more runs before this lead feels safe. That's hilarious, bro. We do need more runs. Can we at least get this 3rd run home? Like, can we at least get this 3rd run home, please? Higgy. No, Higgy. Higgy is going to strike out. Good. You know what? I don't know if this is going to go well for Alejandro or not, but I love Alejandro up right now with the chance to really bust this game open. I love it. Dan, are you saying this based off today? Because I don't know if I could really agree with you on today. Collectively, maybe, but dude, he's a rookie. I don't really think Osuna's bad. I don't know if I could agree with you there, my friend. But, you know, everybody's entitled. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Here's what I do know about Osuna. Dude gets on base, and that's huge. He takes walks. He works counts. He's 1 for 2 with a walk today. He's been on base twice. He's your 9-hole hitter. I would love to see Osuna come through here. Yeah, Dan, I think you're being a little bit hard on the young kid, man. He's a rookie. I get it. Like, we want these guys to come up and pop right away. But, I mean, this kid's a rookie. I'm not expecting a ton of rookies unless you're Bryce Harper to come up and it just clicks from day one. I would much rather see this continual improvement positive trajectory, and I think Osuna's on one. I think he has shown since his time in the big leagues, he's not overwhelmed in the box. I mean, you watch guys like Bosque, you watch other Rangers that have come up to the big leagues from AAA, kind of look overwhelmed in the box. You know, just a lot of indecision. I feel like Osuna has really good control of the box up there. Consistency is always going to be key. It's always going to be key. But from a rookie, got a lot more grace. I would love to see the Mexican power. 100%. I would love to see him show it off right now. What's good, Max? Thanks for hanging out. I love Osuna. I love it, man. I really want to see this guy turn into something special. We all just kind of latch on to different guys on the team. So, look, by no means am I saying Osuna is elite right now. But we all have the guys that we kind of latch onto and cheer a little bit harder for. Osuna is one of those guys for me. I really hope he can connect here. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, Heim is pinch hitting. Man, come on. I get it. I do. I get it. Oh, that's like a knife right there. I wanted to see Osuna, man. I really did. I mean, we'll see what Jonah does. I guess if Jonah connects here, we can go ahead and shut our mouths, but he's going to miss a fastball right down the pipe. Jonah is just the king of bad body language up at the dish sometimes, ain't he? Bro is just the king of bad body language sometimes. Come on, we got to get one run here. I do not love the 2-run lead. Give me a 3-run. Give me a 3 spot. You'd love Heim to gap one here and make it 8-4. Come on. Zeke Duran is going to steal second base on ball number 2, and the Rangers now have second and third, 1 out. Heim, all you got to do is put it in the air, buddy. All you got to do is put it in the air. Let's go. 2-1 count. Yeah, Brian, I'm willing to see how it works out. If it doesn't work out well with Heim, Dan brings up a good point. I think it'll probably be Haggerty. It'll be Haggerty probably going out to left, right? And then first base, you're probably going to potentially, let's see, maybe lose the DH. Maybe they're going to do the lose the DH thing. That would not surprise me. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Let's see if it can work out for Jonah. Nope. Might as well have left Osuna in. Might as well have left Osuna in, man. You could have done anything there. Like a ground ball, I mean, it would have taken it getting through. They had the infield in. A ground ball might have been able to work. Just put the ball in play, bro. Just put the ball in play. It does frustrate me when we do the matchups like this. And look, now we're totally Monday morning armchair quarterbacking it. But, you know, with Jonah right there, you're not, I don't think, improving that much from Osuna to Heim, even though you're having Heim go opposite side. Tough one. Almost, man. Smith almost beat that one out. But this is the problem with Texas. This is the problem. You had a runner on third with nobody out, and you can't get it home. Huge chance to tack on, and you do nothing with it. Just not good. I hope the Rangers can finish this one out, obviously. And they've got a good chance to do it. Up 2 runs. They do. But just not good. You should be up 3, maybe even 4 runs at this point. We did not get the 43 runs we needed. Curvelo is going to finish out the ball game. Curvelo is definitely back in. They didn't have anybody warming up in the bullpen. Just got a couple notifications from some beat writers. Curvelo's closing it out. All right. Jock did something good. I can't believe it either way. I cannot believe it either. Up 2 runs, bottom of the lineup coming up. That's true. Mariners do not have the big guns coming up. Although, not to throw the bad energy out there, but the bottom of the Mariners order did hit pretty well on Thursday night. So I'm not going to put it past him. Jake, I'm with you on that. Should have scored runs, man. Should have scored some more runs. Rowdy has been good the last 2 days. If there's a righty on the mound tomorrow, which I think there is, play him again. Play Rowdy again. Always fun doing it to your former team as well. Brad, look, I'm not in favor of Bruce Bochy's job today. I definitely don't think they're going to be firing him, my guy. I appreciate the sentiment. Bruce is obviously a Hall of Fame coach, and the one thing that I always think about with Bruce Bochy and anybody that maybe is wanting to move on from him, I just genuinely do feel like the grass is not always greener when it comes to managers. It's just not always greener. And maybe Skip Schumacher, who's kind of appearing at least to be the coach in waiting, is going to do an incredible job when he takes over. But the grass just is not always greener with the coaching. It's not good today from Boch. Don't get it twisted. It's not good today. I did not love sticking with Robert Garcia right after getting his clock cleaned last night. Curvello's going to fire strike one. And pitch number 2 incoming here shortly. We have got ball number 1 right now, 1-1 count. And let's see here. Pitch number 3. Pop up. Seager appears to be under it. And he makes the catch. 1 down. Rangers are 2 outs away. Garver up right now. Garver's coming up. Sorry, y'all. The post-game analysis, I'll come at you with a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to lie to you right now. If you're feeling the lulls a little bit, I'm just a little bit on edge finishing out this game. I think you can understand. I think you can relate. Just a little on edge finishing out this ball game with y'all. But we're going to have a lot of fun in the post-game either way. Hopefully it's after a Rangers dub. Ball 2, slider, front door that just didn't break enough over the inner half. So Garver in a 2-0 count, favorable hitters count. Got to be careful with Garv. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but we all know he can put a charge in one. Be careful with Garv here. I don't want to see Curvello give in. You got a base open. You've got Crawford coming up, who obviously had a big knock last night, but you got Young coming up after that. Again, bottom of the order. Strike on the outer half, a curveball, slider, excuse me, and it is 2-1. Pitch number 4. Curvello sets, and Garver is going to pop up. This isn't foul territory. Looks like Duran is going to be under it. He makes the catch, and the Rangers have 1 out left to get here in the bottom of the 11th inning. That sun is tough, man. Seager had a tough time with it, even with the shades on. Zeke, after making that catch, is looking like he just got blinded. J.P. Crawford steps in the box. He is the last hope for Seattle. A good hope to have up there at the plate. Crawford, of course, hitting the game-winning 2-run bomb last night. He's not going to be able to win the game in one swing, but he could put a charge in one and tie it. See if Luis Curvello has something to say about that. Curvello, again, just his 4th official inning here of Major League Baseball. And what a spot to be in against a division rival, one that you're trailing in a very important series. And he's going to get strike 2 here. Throws the slider again. It was right down the middle, a little bit hung, but Crawford's timing was not there. And it is 0-2. Down to their last strike. Curvello steps up on the mound and delivers. Ball 3 outside. Went back with the fastball here. I like not going super close there, not giving a chance. So we have 1 and 2. Runner on second base is Gino Suarez, by the way. He recorded the strikeout, recorded the last out of the 10th inning. Pitch 2. Ball 2 on that one. Looks like a mound visit's going to go on here. Probably not a bad idea. 2 and 2 with 2 outs. We got 2s. Mike Maddox is coming out to talk to the Rangers rookie. Y'all, these Mariners games, like, take years off your life. They really do. I'm kind of with Dan on this. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. Just calm him down a little bit here. Calm him down a little bit. You got a mound visit. You might as well just calm him down. I think it's fine. We keep rolling. Appreciate the follows, by the way. I see a couple of y'all followed recently here within the last couple minutes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We are watching Rangers-Mariners right now. Rangers have a 6-4 lead. Mariners are down to their final strike. Runner on second. Ghost runner Gino Suarez. J.P. Crawford up in the box right now. Okay, mound visit over. And pitch number 5 is going to be on the way here shortly. Fouled off. Slider. That was right at the bottom of the zone. It was over the heart of the plate. Caught a lot of plate. But towards the bottom of the zone, J.P. Crawford does well to foul it off. And we are going to have a 6th pitch in this AB. Good AB from Crawford. He's battling up there. If Crawford can reach, we'll see Young, the second baseman, who's 1 for 3 with a walk on the day. Pitch number 6. Curvelo sets and delivers. Fly ball, right field. Garcia crashing in. He makes the catch, and the Rangers are going to win this one. 6-4. Luis Curvelo is going to get his first win of his major league career. Rangers' first win at T-Mobile since September 12, 2024. First win in almost a year. Hello win column. Cue the I Like Texas music, even though it's on the road. Somebody break out the boombox. Luis Curvelo gets his first major league win. How about that? You love to see it, man. That is so fun for him. He is nothing but smiles right now. Curvelo 1-0, 0 ERA. Good for the rookie, man. What an outing from him. That's phenomenal. That's huge. You hope that can propel him into something special the rest of the way. Love it. Absolutely love it. I am shocked. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I am shocked that we got this win. When Robert Garcia gave up the 2-run bomb, I have to be honest, inside I thought to myself, there is a very, very minuscule, small chance that we win this game. I don't know what they're going to do with closer. Look, it's never simple with this coaching staff. I can't imagine they're just going to insert Curvelo right into the closer role as much as maybe some of y'all are saying that they should. Like, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world, to be honest with you. But we know how this coaching staff works. Nothing is really ever perfectly simple. I really don't think they're just going to slot Curvelo in. I definitely think that we can win tomorrow with deGrom on the bump. I mean, Big Game James, if you're still hanging out, he made a good point last night that deGrom was hit around by the Mariners last time out. So, look, there is that. But I still say I'll take my chances with deGrom any night. So you got deGrom going tomorrow. You got an opportunity to split the series. I said it coming into this Seattle series. If you can just get a split, it's going to go a long way. And I think the Rangers can make that happen with one of the best pitchers in baseball on the mound tomorrow. I mean, look, it's only been 4 innings, Matt. So I don't know how much we can really say that, but it's been a good 4 innings. It's been a really good 2 games for Crivello. Would like to see more of him. You know what? I think we got to give some credit out to a couple other guys tonight. So let's get right into players of the game. I'm going to get the broadcast off the iPad here in front of me so I can lock in, bring y'all a good post-game show here. And you guys don't be shy. You guys help make this a good show too with all the good comments, questions, so keep them coming. But can we give a little bit of love to Cole Winn? Cole Winn came into the ball game, 9th inning, tied 2-2, and got this game to extras. I give a lot of credit to Cole Winn. Would have been easy to melt a rookie in a big spot on the road, and he shut it down and got it to the 10th. Cole Winn, I think we cannot forget about his performance in that 9th inning. And then, of course, the 2 new guys. Coulombe and Maton have been nails. Have only been 2 total innings pitched in their Rangers careers, but it's been great. Coulombe got into a little bit of trouble, right? He gave up a hit. He walked 2. Maton, he just mowed right through in the 8th inning, which he got. Look, both of those guys have been really, really good so far in a Rangers uniform. It's a short tenure, but you absolutely love to see it. Look, if there's one thing that Chris Young and the front office get right, it's pitching. And you can say what you want about Robert Garcia. Who knows if Robert Garcia, I'm kind of curious about this. I don't know if any of the reporters will ask, but is Robert Garcia closing more of a Bochy thing? Or is it more of a Chris Young thing? Or is it a mutually agreed upon decision? That's what I kind of want to know at this point. Is it going to be a deal where there's a little pressure from the front office, or Bochy just being stubborn, continuing to play him? That's what I want to know. And the reality is at this point, with now 5 blown saves, I believe he's up to, probably should not be continuing to close ball games for Texas in a stretch run like this. Natalie, I'm with you. Doesn't look comfortable. I think Robert Garcia can be a good pitcher just in the 7th or 8th inning, not the 9th inning, man. All right, it is a Bochy thing. Okay. Jack, Garcia was the Nate Lowe trade. We traded Nate Lowe to the Nationals, and we got Robert Garcia in return. Look, I think that you've got to put Garcia back in kind of that 7th or 8th inning role. It really felt like he thrived in that spot. Ever since he's come to the closer role, it definitely feels like a 50-50 proposition. 50-50 at best when he comes into the 9th inning. Cameron, I'm with you. It is never easy in Seattle. And it doesn't help when you've got Bochy continuing to throw out Robert Garcia in the 9th inning. Which, look, I know, Cam, you were going in on Boch a little bit yesterday. I think you got a pretty good argument today. Some questionable decisions from the Rangers manager. None greater than letting Garcia pitch to Gino Suarez. That, to me, was the biggest head scratcher. Like, letting Garcia start the 10th inning and continue to be the closer, maybe some of you guys will argue, like, that's the moment right there. Like, bro, what are you even doing? Making him close a game here. I was actually a little bit on the fence myself. I thought to myself, you know what? As I look at the numbers and go kind of wide lens, Robert Garcia has preserved a lot of leads this year. I definitely didn't feel like coming into this game, like it had to be 100% a demotion. But, of course, when you see the home run fly, you're like, yeah, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. But I can't believe that Bochy left him in the game to face Gino Suarez. That made no sense to me. 0 sense to me. By the way, we have not even talked about Merrill Kelly, who I thought had an outstanding debut. Yes, it went a little awry, got a little wonky with some mental mistakes. By the way, the balk that they called was not a balk. It was actually a violation. Merrill Kelly stepped off, he picked off, he stepped off, and then he tried the jump throw. So it was technically 3 disengagements, and that's why they awarded a base, the run, and the guy to second. That was the official ruling on that, by the way. If you were still thinking that Merrill Kelly balked there, it was 3 disengagements. And that's why the run came in to score that made it 2-1. But Merrill Kelly, forgetting how many outs there were, look, I'll chalk it up to crazy trade deadline, mind spinning. You know, bro's got a family, trying to, figure out where he's going to live when he gets back to Arlington. I just think it's a tough time for guys at the trade deadline. I don't love seeing guys brain cramp on outs. Very Little League-esque, but you know what? Merrill pitched a really good game. It was a phenomenal game from him. Looked in control almost the entire time, minus that last inning. I think you got to be really, really encouraged by what you saw from Merrill Kelly. And Gary, you make a good point. Merrill, I thought, could have gone probably another inning or 2. He was only at about 70 pitches when they took him out. I think Boch wanted to see it end positively. So I don't think he wanted to see a base knock there and then Merrill's debut suddenly takes a bad turn. So I think that the idea was, let's get Merrill out of here. He looks a little rattled, just looks a little off. He just forgot how many outs there were. Gary, I'm with you. I think it probably was a little bit of a fast pull, but it all worked out ultimately. I think Merrill is definitely going to be a guy that can go deep into ball games. I think he had a couple innings in the tank for sure. I don't know how you don't like Merrill Kelly. I don't know how you don't like what you saw today. He was in control, made the AL MVP front runner look very foolish, Cal Raleigh. I mean, I had a tough game up at the plate today. Just wasn't seeing the ball well out of Merrill Kelly's hand. Rough day at the office. But good to hop on the Rangers pod post-game. Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation with the box. But that was a disengagement. That was a third disengagement, man. It wasn't any kind of balk situation at all. He just disengaged from the mound 3 times. Different from a balk. Disengagement versus a balk, we're kind of talking about 2 different things. Sean, yeah, look, we might as well have fun with it, my guy. We might as well have fun with it. A couple of y'all are asking about Josh Sborz. And I definitely will say, I'm not sitting around really counting down the Josh Sborz return calendar days. Like, I'm not. He was throwing low 90s in AAA. I'm just not really in a hurry to get Josh Sborz back. I know some of you guys really feel like he's going to come back and be this big impact guy. I'm just not sold. I'll believe it when I see it. Josh has not been healthy since 2023. I am not putting all my eggs in the Josh Sborz basket. I'm just not. I'm not. I know that some of y'all really are looking forward to him coming back into the fold. Yeah, I cannot say that I'm there. I think he has been out for a long time, has not pitched in a while. That's why the rehab assignment has taken so long. I am not expecting, at all, not expecting Josh Sborz to come back and be lockdown guy in the 8th or 9th inning. Platinum sombrero, was it? Did he get 5 Ks tonight? I struck out 5 times? No way. 5 strikeouts for Cal Raleigh. Wow. Platinum sombrero. Yikes. Yikes. Woo. Oh, my goodness. If Rowdy keeps playing well with Berger coming back, do you DFA Duran and have Josh Smith as the super utility guy? That is definitely something to think about. Like, I think it's going to come down to, do the Rangers want to prioritize versatility, or do they want to prioritize a bat? I hope the answer is a bat. I really hope that the answer is they're going to prioritize offense. That would be really disappointing if they DFA'd Rowdy and kept Duran on the big league squad. That would be disappointing to me. Curvelo was goated tonight. Look, it's been 4 innings. But Curvelo, yeah, it's working so far. Now, what happens, y'all, is now a lot of these teams, they start getting tape on some of these relievers. Not a lot of tape out there on Curvelo right now. You know, there's minor league ABs that you can look into, but Once the league kind of gets some tape on you as a pitcher, that's when the real test begins, and you have to start making adjustments to the adjustments. So we'll see. Hayden, I'm not crowning Crivello as the closer yet. I think you got to see a little bit more. This is a great start. I don't think we necessarily need to thrust Crivello into the closer role. I don't know how wise that would be. I think he's had a killer 2 games. I think we may need to pump the brakes on closer. There's going to be some adjustments made against Luis Crivello the more he pitches. Let's just see if he can continue this run that he's on, regardless of where he's at. 8th inning, 7th inning, 9th inning. I'm really, really encouraged, though. And I like, Gio, to your comment, I like the fact that Crivello was living more on the corners. There wasn't a lot right over the heart of the plate. I think one to J.P. Crawford was a little hung, a slider that Crawford did not have timed up, fortunately. But yes, it did feel like Crivello was playing the corners a lot more. Astros lost again. Yes, sir. Good day. Really good day. Ryan, what I would do with Robert Garcia is I would just move him back to the 7th or 8th inning. Like at the beginning of the year when Luke Jackson was closing games. Isn't that crazy, by the way? Luke Jackson was closing games for us. Yeah, how'd that go? I think personally he needs to just go back to the 7th or the 8th inning. He was pitching really well in the 7th and the 8th. I think that you need to go back to that formula. The eye test, Jordan, I can agree with that. I can agree Crivello is passing the eye test with flying colors. The eye test, it looks like bro is going to fit in just fine in that bullpen. Again, I don't know if you want to throw him right into the closer role. I really don't. I really don't think that is the answer right now, and I don't think the Rangers are going to do it. They prefer vets a lot more than they do the rookies. Honestly, Cole Winn and Crivello, though, getting the opportunity to pitch in high leverage, I'd like to see more of that. I like Cole Winn in high leverage. I just saw that comment come across. Mateo, I'm with you. Cole Winn in the 9th, that was great. That was outstanding from Cole Winn. So maybe the answer is, can we get the young guys throwing a little bit more in the high leverage spots? We keep going. Agreed. Kalum and Maton have been excellent. I'm with you. John, this is kind of my identical take on Sborz. Like, I really like Josh Sborz. I'm just not counting on him to come back and be a big-time piece. If it works out that way, phenomenal. But some of the Rangers fans that are really counting down the days till his return, I just want to see the expectations lower just a little bit. I think that he is going to need a little bit of time to shake off some rust. I do think that Sborz can get back to a high level. I'm not saying he's washed. I am saying I don't know how reliable he's going to be. 2 months left of the season. He hasn't pitched in a very long time. For an extended period of time, I'm a little worried about how he's going to come back. Keep going. Any chance Walcott is moved for another bat? Well, we can't make moves anymore. And they kind of changed up the waiver deadline a little bit. So the way that the Astros acquired Justin Verlander back in 2019, I believe it was, or 2017. It was 2017, right? So in 2019, they actually changed it. So now you can only be traded after the trade deadline if you have like a minor league contract, you have not been on the injured list, and like there's one other qualification. It like really narrows down the pool. So basically, this waiver deadline is now like basically trading for Craig Kimbrels, if you will, guys that have minor league contracts, but aren't necessarily on a 40-man roster, kind of like that. So there's not much that the Rangers are going to be able to do now that the deadline has officially passed. Yeah, John, this is kind of where I'm at, right? I mean, again, you and I are in sync on this. It's not that I don't like Sborz. I don't want any of y'all to walk away. Man, this guy just hates Josh Sborz. I really love Josh Sborz. Dude closed out the World Series for us. How could you not love that guy? But for me, I mean, it was June 2023 It was June 2023. We hadn't won a World Series yet. And Josh Sborz was terrible. He was terrible in June 2023. Many Rangers fans, myself included, I'll be totally transparent, wanted to DFA Josh Sborz before the summer really got started in 2023. He was awful. The Rangers stuck with him, and a good thing that they did because he closed out the World Series for us. But that goes to the point that John made, that I'm making with Sborz. He has not been the model of consistency. Josh Sborz has not been consistently good over his MLB career. He's had moments of good. He's had moments of really good. It hasn't been consistent. And that's why I say pump the brakes on Josh Sborz. Keep the expectations low. If he comes up and kills it, outstanding. But I just feel like we're asking for a letdown by having these lofty expectations of Josh Sborz. Dude has not really pitched. He pitched a little bit in 24. He hasn't pitched a full season in a very long time. And so I don't think that we can expect him to come in and be any kind of savior. Yeah, Jack, I forget what it was. I'd have to go back and look at his 2023 game log. But again, it was like getting brutal with Josh Sborz in around the end of spring, beginning of summer 2023, before we had won the World Series. And Green Arrow, it wasn't just one time, buddy. So, I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you there. Unless you're an expert on Josh Sborz game logs, you'll have to trust me, my guy. It was not pretty. But that being said, it shows why you don't give up on guys right away. But I think it also shows why you don't expect a dude that's been out for probably, close to a year, why you don't expect him to come in and be the bullpen savior. Let's see. Might have to option Curvelo if you get Presley. I don't think they're going to go get Presley. I would be surprised if they did. Maybe. I'd be kind of surprised if they went and picked him up, though. Wynn did look good. Wynn, I definitely would rather have over Garcia. Somebody's comment on TikTok was Wynn over Garcia any day for closer. Definitely, if you're going to give me my pick right now, I want Cole Wynn. If you're going to ask me, do I want Curvelo or Garcia, I'm probably going Curvelo. I don't necessarily believe Curvelo should get thrust into the closer role, but at this point, I would rather have him in there than Garcia. Armstrong, give me Armstrong over Garcia. I don't think the Nats fleeced the Garcia trade. That's Trent. That's a little bit of a hot take, I think. Nate Lowe. Do we have to do a Nate Lowe check-in? Y'all always make me do this. Do we have to do a Nate Lowe check-in? All right, we'll do a Nate Lowe check-in. Nate Lowe has a negative WAR. A negative WAR. Rangers fans, please. And Trent, you know I love you. But, like, please, y'all. Do we have to do this with Nate Lowe? The rose-colored glasses, whenever we talk about Nate Lowe, just get stapled on to the sides of everybody's heads. And it just bugs the heck out of me. This guy has a negative WAR. I love Nate Lowe. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to say that Nate Lowe has a negative WAR. I love this guy. But can we stop saying that the Nats fleeced the Rangers in the Nate Lowe, Robert Garcia trade? Please. Nate Lowe has a negative WAR. I've said it like 6 times now. I hope we start understanding. Robert Garcia has a positive WAR. Nate Lowe has a negative .2 WAR. Robert Garcia at least has a positive WAR. There was no fleecing that took place. If anything, you could say the Rangers won that trade because you got a more controllable player and you're not paying $10 million. The Nationals, let me just drive this point home even more, and then I'll get off the soapbox. The Nationals are paying Nate Lowe almost $11 million a year to be a negative WAR player. Okay, do we understand now? Okay, school's out. We keep going. Garcia still has a 3.21 ERA. Keep him out of the closers role. 100%. Nate Lowe is more than stats. He's a galvanizer. disagree on that as well, Trent. When the Rangers were doing poorly last year in 2024, when we really needed somebody to step up, was Nate Lowe stepping up? No, he wasn't. Nate Lowe started hitting well for Texas when the season was over. And again, I don't want to speak these things into existence because it makes it sound like I don't like Nate Lowe, and I do. Got the dude's bobblehead behind me out of view. I mean, I love Nate Lowe. But guys, Nate Lowe started hitting in August. Like, not even in August. It was like in September. Remember Nate Lowe went on like that absolutely torrid tear in September when we were out of the playoffs? It's like, dude, you waited until September to start getting hot. You can say Nate Lowe's a good locker room guy all you want and like a good positive vibes guy. I can appreciate that. Let's not pretend like Nate Lowe was ever a spark for the offense. He wasn't. Nate Lowe pretty much followed the crowd. If the offense wasn't hitting well, Nate Lowe usually didn't hit well. If the offense was hitting well, Nate was kind of a 50-50. Sometimes he would join along, and sometimes he'd be like the only one not hitting well, kind of like the playoffs in 2023. Nate Lowe felt like one of the only guys that wasn't hitting well, him and Jonah Hyman, Leody Taveras. Those three dudes. Everybody else felt like was having a pretty good postseason. All right, enough about that. I don't want to speak any more ill will, not even ill will, just truth about Nate Lowe, because I love Nate Lowe and I like the guy, and there's no need for me to continue on this path. I think I've proven my point. All right, let me get back to comments and questions. Kenley Jansen got lit up 6 runs. Yeah, we're not saying that Josh Sborz had one bad game, Green Arrow, and all of a sudden he's a bad pitcher. We're saying he hasn't been consistent. Kenley Jansen has shown consistency over his career. It's a little different. A scapula spasm? What the heck is that? I've never even heard of that. Scapula spasm is what Robert Garcia had going on? What is a scapula spasm? It is a shoulder blade muscle spasm. Okay. All right. Clearly, I'm not a doc, but had not really ever heard of that type of spasm before. So a shoulder blade spasm. Okay. Like I said, I hope that they don't use the scapula spasm as the reason why Garcia wasn't pitching well today, and they continue to keep him in the closer role because of it. Please. This is actually pretty funny. This comment says, I saw a comment earlier saying Garcia must have a pic of Bochy in a thong. That's hilarious. There must be some dirt, you feel like, with some of the decisions that get made. Boch is just loyal to his guys, in all honesty. Like, Boch is just loyal to his guys. But that's hilarious. Let's keep going here. That's got me cracking up, man. Let's see. Is it crazy to say if Berger stayed healthy all year, he'd be a Gold Glove defender? Berg actually really impressed me at first base. I think he'd be in the conversation. I don't know if he would have won. We keep going. Let's see. It might be good for him to have some time off and get his mind right, regardless of what role you put him in. Could be. Cripple King, I could absolutely see it being good for him, although it hasn't gone super, super well for resets, injury resets. I know Jock Peterson did have a base knock there, but it's not like a lot of Rangers have come back from injury and just killed it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Doesn't have a lot of options at closer. I kind of feel like he does have some options at closer. I don't think Garcia is far and above all the other options they have to the point where you say, yeah, there's no options. Yeah, Sean, I would pitch Garcia in a 5-run game. 100%. I would pitch Robert Garcia in a 5-run game. I pitch him in a 4-run game as well. I'm probably not pitching him in a 3-2-1 run game at this point until he shows me some consistency. Trent, yes, Carter, back spasms, most likely. I think he actually did go on the IL. So Carter's on the IL right now, 10-day. Guys, I'm just going to throw this out there. I hope Evan Carter gets back as soon as possible. But with back spasms, so finicky. You just don't know how it's going to respond day to day. I would not be shocked if Carter is out for more than the minimum amount of days. And maybe some of you guys figured that out already. Did I see MLB trades? Of course. Which ones do you want to talk about? CJ, I like Colwyn in the ninth. That's a guy that I definitely think needs to be pitching in more high leverage spots. Dan, that's what I'm saying. You're kind of in a spot with Evan Carter. You rush the back spasm injury thing. It could really start going haywire. You got to just make sure he's 100% at this point. I think they can actually survive just fine without Evan Carter. We talked about it on the show over the past couple of nights. Evan Carter has not been having a good second half. Since the All-Star break, bro has not been doing well. I mean, look, we can pull up the numbers. I'll pull up Evan Carter last 15 games, and you guys are going to see what I mean immediately. You know, Evan, we love the guy. Little savior, full count Carter. But over his last 15 games, bro is hitting 154. Evan Carter has a 541 OPS over his last 15 games. This is not a bat that you're really going to be missing at this point. Justin, appreciate the gift, by the way, man. Thank you so much. You know, Carter, you might actually, this is kind of sad to say out loud because of how much I love Evan, but you actually might see an uptick in offense with Evan Carter out. That's kind of how bad he was going. Now, clearly, a top-performing Evan Carter is a guy you have to have in the lineup. But the way that Evan Carter has been playing of late, you actually might be a little excited about getting somebody else in there. An Osuna, a Haggerty. I think it might actually be a little bit of a blessing in disguise. I never want to see any guy get hurt, so don't take that the wrong way. But it might actually help the Rangers offense having Evan Carter out. Young, I think, potentially, maybe tomorrow. I think he's day-to-day, honestly, Dan. I think he's day-to-day. Slam to Jackson, I'm actually with you on Heim. I have been a big-time Heim apologist as well. I think Jonah, obviously, Gold Glover, All-Star Game starter, World Series winner, and the accolades go on, but he just needs to be doing more. I do think the Rangers do a hard reset at least one of the catcher spots next year. I think they probably hang on to Higgy. I think Jonah very well either will get traded or might not get a contract next year. I think it's a possibility. Let me roll down to some other comments here. Cameron says, we have all the pieces. It's lack of management. I believe we have a couple guys that could close, and we have the right lineup if put together correctly. Cam, did you already give me your starting nine? Just out of curiosity, I want to see, what's your ideal starting nine? If you can type it up, man, I'd love to see it. I know it's a slight bit amount of work, but I'd love to see what you would do over what Bruce Bochy's doing right now with the lineup. Yeah, I definitely think it's Colomb, Maton, and I think after that, you can throw in a number of guys. I think Curvelo, I think Wynn, I think Armstrong. I think it's those five guys, honestly. Milner, you could maybe throw in Milner. The Rangers have good options late. Robert Garcia has always been a question mark, though. It's since he moved to the closer role, feels like it's always been 50-50. Are you going to get Robert Garcia executing pitches? Are you going to get Robert Garcia throwing right down the middle to Randy Arozarena for no reason? I think it is definitely going to be interesting what they do with the closer role moving forward. Guardians are kind of coming. They are sort of coming for that wild card spot. I agree with you. Right now, I'm going to go to the standings and just see if we can do a little update. By the way, we're over an hour. We're going to start wrapping up the game from today and start previewing the game for tomorrow. We'll still take comments and questions, but just want to give y'all a little heads up on that. So, look, for today, the standings, Rangers in the American League West trail the Astros by 4.5 games. They are now within a game of the Mariners, and they are 1 game back of the wild card. Look at the wild card standings more specifically. You've got the Guardians right behind the Rangers. You've got Texas looking outside, on the outside looking in, Mariners, Yankees Red Sox are now officially in the top wild card spot. Yankees are 2.5 games above the Rangers. Red Sox are 3 games above the Rangers. Red Sox have won 4 in a row. So Texas sits, for all intents and purposes, 2 games out of a wild card spot. Because if you tie with Seattle, they have the tiebreaker. So you're essentially 2 games out of a playoff spot right now. 2 games out. Not bad. You can work with that. Get a win tomorrow. It'll go a long way. Then you're 1 game out of a playoff spot, and you're cooking with gas. Today's game. Let's try and wrap this up. Josh Smith 0 for 5 from the leadoff spot. Josh did not have the best day up at the plate, and he is on a very mediocre run over the last 2 weeks. He is hitting 200 with a 606 OPS over his last 15 games. That's not great for your leadoff hitter. Josh did have a home run the other day, and over his last 7 games, the numbers get a little better. 727 OPS over his last 7. So that's good. Trent, appreciate the rose, by the way. Thank you for the gift, my guy. Thank you for the generosity. But Josh Smith, the leadoff spot, it's cooled off a little bit. You'd love to see him get back to form. When your leadoff hitter goes 0 for 5, it makes it tough to win ball games. Corey Seager 1 for 4, Marcus Semien 1 for 5 with an RBI. Back-to-back days with an RBI for Marcus Semien. Adolis Garcia 0 for 5. What's the read on Dolly here? Dolly over his last, 7 games, not good. Last 15 games is not good. Dolly is at a 465 OPS over his last 15 games. Adolis Garcia has not been playing well over the last 2 weeks. Over his last 7 games, he has got a, 413 OPS. Adolis Garcia cleaning up, hitting a $133 over his last 7. That's another thing that is not going to work out super well. I will say I agree with this sentiment. 50 games is plenty of time. It really is. All right, Cam, Haggerty, Langford, Semien, Higgy, Seager, Adolis, Rowdy, Heim, Smith. Okay. So I like Haggerty leading off. I don't mind Langford in the 2-hole. But I think right now, having Seager that low, you probably need to bump Sieg up to at least 4. I don't think you can have him any lower than 4. I'd put Higgy 5. It's the presence, Cam. Just Seager's presence. He is a lot more feared and respected than some of the other guys that you have hitting higher than him. I do think you have to take that into account regardless of his struggles, if you will. I know he hasn't been totally tearing the cover off the ball over the last week. The on-base streak was awesome. Seattle's also historically a place he doesn't really play super well. But, yeah, for me, I think you got to have Seager up a little bit higher there. Yeah, I like the 2 new bullpen arms as well. Absolutely. Cowboy, Rowdy is definitely going to be a guy that you are going to have to get in against righties if he keeps hitting like this. Steven, I do think Higgy will continue to move up in the order the more he hits like this. That's for sure. So right now, as we look at the lineup, you've got a struggling Adolis Garcia. You've got a struggling Josh Smith. Peterson went 1 for 5 today. Averages up to a whopping 129. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. Langford, 2 for 5. He had an RBI as well. Rowdy, 2 for 4. We talked about him. Higgy, 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. Had a 2-run homer. Got the party started. Osuna, 1 for 2 with the walk. You love to see that from Osuna. And then Merrill Kelly, 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. Thought he looked pretty sharp today. Some brain cramps later on in the game. But you know what? Got out of it, worked out of it. Armstrong came in, closed the book on Merrill Kelly, closed the 6th inning out. I think it was a solid debut for him. I'm looking forward to more Merrill Kelly starts. Colomb, Maton, Wynn, Garcia, Curvelo finished it out. Garcia, we've talked enough about him. I don't think that they are going to continue on with him in the closer role. I think they'll go elsewhere. Curvelo now 3 1/3 innings. of shutout baseball in his career. Love to see the young kid getting an opportunity and doing something with it. A lot of guys cannot say the same. They get the call up to the show, and they do not perform like Curvelo performed. So good for him. I don't know if he's going to get thrust into any closer role at this point, but great to see him closing out a ball game like this. Outstanding. Now, let's look at tomorrow, and let's preview deGrom Day. Rangers playing their 4th game in Seattle to close out that series. All right, let's go to the 3rd, August 3rd. We are going to be playing at, is it another, yes, it's another 3:10 start for all y'all in Texas. Okay, cool. So we have deGrom against Seattle. Arozarena, 0 for 7 against deGrom. J.P. Crawford, 2 for 8. Mitch Garver, 2 for 2 with 2 homers against deGrom. I guess be a little careful about Garv sauce. Chase. Oh, man. 2 for 2 with 2 bombs against deGrom. I can't imagine there's a lot of people that have that stat line. Master Boney, 0 for 4. Polanco is 3 for 11 with a home run. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 6 against deGrom. J-Rod, 3 for 8. Solano, 2 for 5. Suarez looks like 4 for 15. So by and large, deGrom has had success against Seattle. Got to look out for Garver. Maybe got to look out for Polanco and J-Rod a little bit. But by and large, deGrom has pitched pretty well against the Mariners hitters. Did get beat up a little bit last time out against Seattle. But you got to think deGrom poised for a bounce back after a rough start last time out. On the other side, Evans, right-handed pitcher, throwing for Seattle. 4.22 ERA on the year, 4-4 record. Over Evans' last 6, let's see if I can get the right count on this. Logan Evans, let's see. Over his last 6 games or so, it's been interesting. You know, he got lit up by the A's for 6 runs on the 29th. Then he went to the Angels, and he only allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings. 2 earned runs against Houston on July 19th. It's very up and down for Evans. But against the Rangers, here's what he's done. You have Garcia, 2 for 3 with 2 RBI against him. Jonah Heim, 1 for 2. Josh Young, 1 for 3. Wyatt Langford, 0 for 3 against Evans, the probable starter for the Mariners tomorrow. Jock Peterson, 0 for 3. Corey Seager, 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. Marcus Semien, 1 for 3. Josh Smith, 3 for 3 against Logan Evans, Seattle probable starter. So you've got some guys with some pretty good numbers against Evans. You hope that combination, along with deGrom, ends up with the Rangers achieving a series split in Seattle. Not an easy thing to do considering their track record up in the Great Northwest. We keep going. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a lot of people in Texas play well in Seattle. I got to agree with you there. What win total gets us into the wild card? I think you got to win at least 85 games. Got to win at least 85. Keep going. Josh Smith, Seager, Semien, Higgy, Langford, Haggerty, Tellez, Peterson, Osuna. I actually don't mind this lineup. I don't mind this lineup at all. This is a lineup that I could get on board with. I think you might switch Tellez and Haggerty with how Rowdy is playing against righties. You might have Rowdy hit 6th, and then you have Haggerty, Peterson, Osuna, 7, 8, 9. That's maybe about the only thing if I was being a little bit picky. Ben, thanks for the stat. 86 wins is what got the last wild card team in. There you go. The only reason, I know y'all are batting Langford high, and I know he had a good game today. I just think Wyatt has got to have better control of the strike zone if you are going to hit him up higher. I feel like Wyatt Langford just doesn't have good enough plate discipline and control and comfortability with the strike zone to be hitting that high in the lineup. That would be probably my only complaint. Otherwise, I think the lineup's pretty good. Pretty good. Higgy, I think, actually, Dan, was this just no particular order? Was this just like no particular order, Dan? All right. Yeah, Dan. I don't know if I'd bat Young at 2. But seriously, they probably are at the point where they need to start mixing it up with some guys. I know that burns some people up because some of us want to see these guys just get into a rhythm. I think as long as you're not benching them, you can move them around in the order wherever. The people that are getting upset about that, I don't really get. I can understand the platooning thing being frustrating. Personally, I can only speak from experience. It never really bothered me to hit, fifth versus fourth, to hit eighth versus sixth. It never really bothered me when a coach would adjust my spot in the lineup. I can't really speak for everybody. I do understand not playing every game is kind of throwing you off a little bit, though. Let's see. CJ, I'm going to scroll up a little bit here. Did you do your first half of the order? Okay, you've got Simeon, Smith, Young, catcher spot, and then Duran or Peterson. Interesting. Look, for me, I'm probably going to stick with Josh Smith and hope that he figures it out at leadoff. I really actually like somebody else hitting second besides Seager. I've talked about this on the show multiple times. I think you've got to figure out more ways to get Corey Seager RBI opportunity. So I actually like Corey Seager hitting third a little bit better than second. So I would probably have someone different hitting in the 2-hole. Then I'd have Seager 3. I'd have Marcus Semien hitting 4th. Then I think you go Higgy 5. I think you go Garcia 6. And then I think it really doesn't matter too much, 7, 8, 9. But yeah, Osuna probably rounds it out for me at the 9 spot. And then the 7 or 8 spot, I can be a little bit flexible with. I just feel like at this point, you've got to start making some adjustments, at least where guys are hitting. You cannot have heart of the order, back-to-back guys going 0 for 5, 0 for 4, like what's been happening with Jock Peterson and Adolis Garcia. It has not been good for those guys over the past 2 weeks. Keep rolling. I don't think Curbelo is going to get locked in as the closer, but I love what I'm seeing, and I think he is going to continue to be used in high-pressure moments. I just don't know if it's going to be like he's locked in as the closer. I find that to be a little bit unlikely just because of how loyal Voch is to the bets. Rowdy, I definitely am in favor of keeping around. I thought he was going to be gone, especially with some of the guys coming back from injury, but I'm okay with them keeping him around. Yeah, I like him batting third too. More RBI opportunity when you bat third versus second. I mean, it's just kind of simple math. I would probably at this point say deGrom, but it's really close. I mean, Evo's got the years on deGrom for being a Texas Ranger, and clearly Evo pitched in the postseason. deGrom didn't. I still say just the pedigree and the aura of deGrom. Probably you think about him as the ace. Evo is probably like right there, even, or at worst a 1A to deGrom, but I would probably still go deGrom over Evo in a game that I need to win. I think Evo's outstanding, but I would have deGrom in a game 7 over pretty much anybody else, and I've said that many times this year. Josh Smith, I do think, is definitely being relied upon a lot, and we remember Josh Smith last year kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. Josh Smith had a great first half, and then never having played 162 or 140, 150 games, I think he wore down a little bit at the end of the year, and I just kind of wonder if you're seeing that again right now. Yeah, that Yankee series, that's going to be interesting. In the Yankee series, you figure we'll see Evo. That'll be nice. You won't see deGrom. You probably won't see Merrill Kelly, right? You might see Merrill on Wednesday, huh? Because that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. No, you wouldn't. I don't think you're going to see Merrill on Wednesday either. Is it Monday with the Yankees? Is it Monday and then after that it's an off day? When's the next off day? Shoot. Let's see what we can figure out here. It's Monday to Wednesday. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, we won't see Merrill because that's only 3 days of rest in between. So you figure it'll probably be Leiter in that series. So it'll be Corbin, Evo, and Leiter with a Thursday off. And then you come back out with Merrill Kelly and deGrom back-to-back for the following series. Is that Toronto? Is it Toronto the following weekend? Y'all help me out. Sorry. Long day. Don't have the schedule memorized. Philly. Thank you. Toronto's coming up pretty soon after that, though, isn't it? I thought we played the Jays at some point this month. Maybe I'm wrong. Jays maybe isn't until the end of the month, huh? All right. We're good. So you got the Yankees and then you got the Phillies back-to-back. That's fun. Two big franchises coming into town. I love that. Absolutely love that. It's good for business here at Right on Rangers, and it's just more fun in general. So with that being said, I think we're going to start wrapping things up. I'm going to take final comments and questions, and then we are going to enjoy the rest of the Saturday evening. Nick, appreciate it. Appreciate the comp. I'll take a Cal Raleigh comp. Not a great day for Cal, 0 for 5 with 5 Ks, but still the AL MVP frontrunner at this point. Evo, Corbin, and Leiter will be good. I agree. Evo, Corbin, Leiter, I like that. Austin, I like the debut. I think Merrill Kelly's going to be great. I think he's going to be a really, really solid arm for us. Wednesday's a day game. Thank you. I don't think they're going to be getting rid of him. Mid-back spasms, by the way, is now what they're calling it for Robert Garcia. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have an IL appearance for him too. Hopefully somebody can come in and really lock down the closer spot while Robert Garcia is taking some days. That would be ideal. Kelly starts Friday, and then deGrom will be on Saturday. That makes sense. That'll work. What else did I miss? Ethan, where did you see this? It reports deGrom ticked and going to go off tomorrow. Ethan, where did you see that? That's kind of hilarious. Look, I was shocked that they bumped Jacob deGrom's start from today to tomorrow. I was actually really surprised. I thought for sure they're going to make Merrill Kelly pitch Friday or Sunday to keep Jacob deGrom right where he's at. We are going to be playing a lot of good teams. The good news is the Rangers can pretty much, I think, hang with any good team. Judge or Raleigh MVP, I think it'll be Cal Raleigh with Judge going out. We'll see if Cal can stay healthy the rest of the year. But I think right now it's probably going to end up being Cal. CJ, the only guys we can really get are like guys on minor league contracts that have had good minor league years, or maybe some of the vets that have signed minor league deals that are still in the minor leagues. There's not a lot to the waiver trade deadline anymore. They kind of put a kibosh on that in 2019. September, Astros twice, Brewers and Mets. Sean, yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, look, the Astros don't worry me a ton. Those are big series, but they don't worry me a ton. The Brewers, they got a good squad. The Mets, they have some good players as well. That definitely is going to be tough. Yeah, look, Wyatt definitely feels like tweaking with some things, Natalie. I'm kind of with you on this. If Wyatt could figure it out, this team could be real, real special super quick. I've said it so many times. If Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford, or just even one of them, can start reaching their potential and really hitting well, it really makes this lineup just so much better. Feel bad the Speedway Classic's in a rain delay, man. Did you guys see the videos of their setup for the Speedway Classic? It's crazy. It's kind of cool how they put it all together, honestly. Yeah, Yankees don't worry me. Stros don't really worry me. Seattle actually worries me a little bit just because, hear me out on this, we are probably going to have to go to Seattle in that series. Like, this is not a great place for us to play ball. Just never has been. So that's probably the one thing in the AL that worries me is Seattle with home field advantage. That's about it. Hey, Slam to Jackson. Have a great rest of the Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow, all right? Or maybe in the Discord later. Tim McGraw was performing tonight. That's awesome, man. What a good setup. I thought the hats were cool, too, that they put out. Hey, thank you for the gift. Appreciate it, Swole Baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate that gift. Rangers don't worry anyone. Well, I can understand why, but I don't think a lot of teams want to run into Jacob deGrom, Nate Eovaldi, and Merrill Kelly 1, 2, 3. I mean, I think you could maybe say that if you're just thinking about the offense. I don't think there's a lot of teams that want to go back to back to back with deGrom, Evo, and Kelly in a 5-game series or in a 3-game series. Michael, it feels like they did go away from that Field of Dreams game a little bit. Maybe they're just giving it a break. I don't know. Scotty, appreciate the comments, my guy. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, man. Hey, if you are not followed up right now, if you still have not hit that follow button, I would appreciate it. Hey, this is what we do pretty much every show, every day, really. There's a Rangers game. It's a good time, a lot of good people. Clearly, Saturday evening, we've got some people probably out doing their things. Fam and I don't know what we have planned. Maybe we'll try and go have some fun, go out to eat. Should be a good rest of the Saturday night here. Great to get a win, especially an extra innings win. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen when Robert Garcia gave up the bomb to Randy Arozarena, but you got to love deGrom on the mound tomorrow. Anytime, I always say this, whenever you can get a win going into deGrom Day, awesome. Because you feel really good about following it up when that guy takes the hill. So I am ready for deGrom Day tomorrow, 3 o'clock or 3:10 start time if you're in Texas, 1:10 start time out from me. Yeah, I do think Seattle is just a little bit of an Achilles heel. Seattle without home field advantage, I feel pretty good about. Seattle with home field advantage, I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I always try and keep it 100. I'm not going to lie to you. If we faced Seattle in a 7-game series and they have home field advantage, I'm a little worried about those games in Seattle. I think the Rangers can beat Seattle at home. I think they can beat any team at home. They are an elite team, an incredibly elite team when they're at Globe Life. It's really just when they go on the road, specifically to T-Mobile, that it starts going awry. Still have mixed feelings about Maton since he broke Young's wrist. Yeah, we'll see how that one all plays out. Maton, to his credit, sounded pretty remorseful about it. Not that that helped Josh Young out. Hey, that's all right. We'll be here for football season soon enough, man. We'll be talking Cowboys and Longhorns. Thanks for hanging by and saying hello. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Maton was good. Maton, I can't encourage you enough. Go look at Phil Maton's StatCast. Go look at his advanced stats. It's nothing but like high 90s percentile for like every single stat. Sorry about that. It's like nothing but red. The page is bleeding when you look at Phil Maton, Baseball Savant. It's pretty crazy. September schedule, we already talked about a little bit. What do I think of the Correa trade? I think the Correa trade definitely helps Houston, especially since they lost Isaac Paredes. But I don't think Correa is what he once was. I think he's still a good quality player. I think it's more of a sentimental move. I kind of made the comp with the Correa trade. It kind of feels like Josh Hamilton coming back to the Rangers in 2015. Like all Rangers fans loved it when Hambone came back home and he had a couple of fun walk-offs. But beyond that, it wasn't like that was the difference in them winning a World Series or not. Hamilton struggled with injuries. Correa kind of strikes me as a guy that's starting to struggle a little bit more with injuries as he ages in his career. I just don't think it pushes them over the top. How about the 5 strikeouts from you? Yeah, it was a bad day for me, guys. Frankie, it was not a good day. The platinum sombrero. That's why I had to get on this podcast. Whenever I do my Rangers podcast, if I ever have a bad day at the plate for the Mariners, these Ride on Rangers podcasts just help me feel so much better. That and counting my millions of dollars and watching myself be at the front of the AL MVP race. Hey, we'll keep the bid up. Why not, man? Like I said, keep comparing me to millionaires that are the MVP of their sport. Why not? You know, if Seattle in like Cal Raleigh, if they weren't in our division, I'd probably enjoy watching them. I get a lot of the West Coast baseball out here in Vegas. And look, they've got some guys that I enjoy watching for sure. I've talked about a few of them. George Kirby, enjoy watching him pitch a lot. Brash and Munoz in the bullpen, those guys are filthy. Like, if Seattle wasn't in the division, I would probably enjoy them doing well. I mean, they've got some players that are fun to watch. They really do. I did see that. Yeah, Colomb jumped in a bucket of sassy on the mound today. That's well said, Dan. He really did. Hey, he definitely bared down, man. He had a walk. He had, bases loaded there, and he got out of it. Good on him, man. Maton is wild on the mound, like with the control that he has, the focus. I really like Phil Maton. Yeah, in Vegas, it's crazy. I know I've talked about blackouts. It is crazy in Vegas. It's like San Diego. It's Arizona. For a time, it was Colorado. I also got blacked out of Colorado games. I don't get blacked out of Colorado games anymore. So Arizona, San Diego, both LA teams, both Bay Area teams you get blacked out of. So you get Sacramento blacked out, the A's, right? And you get San Francisco blacked out. Seattle was for a time as well, but Seattle, I don't think it's blacked out anymore. So that's nice. Blackouts in Vegas are crazy. Crazy. Curvelo, new closer. I don't know about that. CJ Kurtz would have been phenomenal, but he would have cost like Walcott and a bunch of other top prospects. I don't think we wanted to pay that. Hey, Jamie, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Hey, special shout out and thank you to all of my paid subscribers and paid members on TikTok and YouTube. Really appreciate you guys. And look, anybody that followed, anybody that dropped a comment, anybody that shared the video, liked the video along the way, we don't take any of that for granted. But a few months ago, I started up a monthly $2.99 a month subscription that gets you access to our exclusive Ride on Rangers Discord. Would love to have more of you guys in that Discord. It's currently the only thing that I've monetized on the show. Look, I'll be transparent with you. This is a bit of a side hustle for me right now, but I'd love for it to be a full-time job. We definitely grind it out every single day covering the Rangers, and we love it. But one day it'd be fun to do this more full-time, and any way that you can support the show makes a big difference. So I want to say a special thank you for considering that. If you would like to become a paid subscriber on TikTok, it's right next to the chat, bottom left corner. Tap that button. Become a paid subscriber. We'll get you right into the Discord after the show. And if you're on YouTube or if you're on X, I'm going to drop the link for you guys. Same thing, $2.99 a month. And we will get you right into the Discord post-show. And it would be awesome. I'd love to have some of you guys in there giving all of your wise, sage takes on the Texas Rangers. That would be great. So consider it. But thank you for all the other ways that you support the show regardless. Especially some of y'all that just show up every day regardless of the outcome, because that's how I roll. Those are my kind of people, and I just can't say how much I appreciate that. $2.99 is too cheap. Hey, I appreciate you saying that. I try to keep it reasonable for everybody. I don't need to be filthy rich doing this, but $2.99, it's a good starting spot. That's like, it's probably less than a Starbucks cup of coffee at this point. Once a month, and like I said, great access to the Discord. You'll get access to all of my round-the-clock Rangers takes. I try and light that thing up as much as I possibly can throughout the day. It's a great outlet for me, and I've just really enjoyed the group of guys that are in there and the community that we built. It's been awesome. All right, I am closing up shop, guys. Hot prediction, Jock hit for a third game in a row tomorrow. Sean, maybe so. Maybe so. Jamie, you like that? Wise, sage takes. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Swole Baby, thanks for the gifts. Appreciate it, guys. All right, let's wrap it up. Dan, give Osuna some time for me. Hey, if you're not going to do it for anything else, do it for me, man. I love Alejandro Osuna. I really hope this guy turns into a great player for the Rangers. Do it for my sake, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the comments today too, Dan. You're awesome. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Have a great rest of your Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow around the same time. May not be able to do 8th or 9th inning. We'll see what happens with my day, but definitely post-game. If I can't get on in the 9th, we'll definitely get post-game taken care of. So within 10 or 15 minutes of the game being done, if we're not on already, we'll be on within 10 or 15. So thank you so much for the support. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.